everyone. With the time for planting seeds fast approaching, I thought I would share with you today a nice idea on how to give some seeds to somebody in a really different way. So I was inspired by this postcard, and I don't know if you can see, but it's got seeds flecked all in it. Okay, so this is seed paper. So I've seen these in the shops, they're quite expensive. A sheet of paper infused with seeds that you can give as a postcard or a greetings card. And I wanted to show you today how you can make this for yourself. So I've been experimenting with a toilet roll and some newspaper. And this is what I've come up with. It's quite brittle, but I think it does the job. See, I've made a mini greetings card here. There you go. So I wanted to show you today how we could do these. I've got a slightly thicker one here, and you can actually see the seeds in that. Okay? So that is an entire toilet roll, that one. But these ones are slightly thinner and a bit more pliable. Okay? So, how did I do it? Here, let's have a look. You're going to need a toilet roll or some paper, maybe some newspaper, a bowl, 2 forks, a packet of seeds, some old rags, a rolling pin, and maybe a cookie cutter of your desired shape. I've gone for a flower shape because I thought, it's wildflower seeds. It's got to be a flower. Right then, so let's have a look down here. Here's the bowl. You need to get your toilet roll and rip it into tiny, tiny pieces. Now, it's obviously got a bit of glue on it to stick it together, but the idea of ripping it is that you're ripping the fibres apart and making it as rough as you can. Okay, so we rip, 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 rip. I'm not going to do the whole thing because that will take ages, but rip it into tiny little pieces, as thin as you can. So if you can get to a bit where you can rip that off, do it. Okay, so we're just going to rip this bit here. I've added a bit of newspaper to the latest one because I wanted to make it a little bit thinner, I guess, a little bit less lumpy. So you put your toilet roll in, or your used up bits of paper, and then some newspaper. So rip that nice and small again. There we go. And when you've got as much in there as you'd like, probably start small and work your way up, see how it goes. There we go. You're going to need a grown-up to help you with this because I'd like you to cover it with a little bit of boiling water. Okay? Just enough to cover up the paper there, not too much. And I want you to leave it in the boiling water until it's cooled down. Okay? So we really want that water to soak into the paper and the cardboard to make it nice and smushy. Now, because of the glue on the toilet roll, you're going to want to strain this cold water away and put some fresh boiling water and leave it again. So there's quite a lot of waiting involved, I'm afraid to say, but this beats the alternative method because I have seen it where we've ripped up the paper and put it into a blender, but that will wreck your blender. And I don't know about you, but I haven't got a spare one. So that's why I came up with the idea of the 2 forks, okay? And the boiling water. So this is one that I did a little bit earlier to show you how far on it's gone. It's very smushy now. So I'm going to show you what you need the 2 forks for. So let's put it down here. So you need to use 1 fork to hold it down and pull it apart. You want to break all the fibres of the card and the paper up. Okay, so you want tiny, tiny pieces so it's pulp. That might take you quite a long time, but it's a lot cheaper than buying a new blender because you blunted the blades trying to make seed paper, because I imagine that probably won't go down too well next time you want to make a smoothie or something and it won't even chop up your banana. So you need to do that until you've got a really nice fine pulp. I'm probably not going to manage it today with this, but you get the idea. So keep pulling it apart until you've pulled all of the pieces apart and you've got a nice smushy pulp of paper. Okay, there we go. So it's got to be a lot finer than that, but just for this example we'll go with this. Then you get your rags. So I'm going to lay one out here. At this point you could add some food colouring because it's going to come out like the same colour as a toilet roll. With newspaper in it, there might be a little bit of colour as well that you could get. So if you chose maybe some print with red or blue on it or any colours that you wanted, that could help. But if you wanted to put food colouring in it to give it the general colour, just be careful for the next step, because we're going to get the excess water out. I'm just going to tip that on the floor. Not in the kitchen, obviously, don't tip it on the floor in the kitchen. I'm doing that because I'm outside. So tip your smushy pulp, I'm only going to do like a third of it, onto your rag. Now if you're going to make it into a shape, you can put your cookie cutter on top and push it into all of the corners to fill up your shape. There we go. And sprinkle your seeds on it. Okay, so rip open the packet and sprinkle some seeds. There we go. You don't want too many, just a few. And then carry on pushing it into your mould, if you're going to use a mould. If you're just going to have a flat card like this, you can just roll it out flat, obviously. There we go. So once you've got it into shape, take the mould off and then put another rag on top like this. And this is where you need your rolling pin. I've got the heavy one, not the magical Play-Doh one this time. And you need to push down really hard to push all of the excess moisture out of the paper pulp. Okay, so I'm just going to go forwards and backwards there. I can see it coming out in the rag. And I'm going to go this way a little bit. And I'm going to go this way a little bit. There we go. When you've given it a really good squeeze, we're going to lift up the rag very gently. There we go. And you can see you've got a nice flat, it's not the perfect shape, but you can cut it when it's dry. And very gently take it off there, and you've got yourself some wet paper infused with seeds. So if you put this somewhere nice and warm for 24 hours, not on the radiator because you don't want to ruin your seeds, maybe in the airing cupboard, it will dry nice and hard like this one. And then you can write on it. There we go. See, I've written on this one with a little bit of pen. You could maybe colour it in, put a message, and then give it to somebody to plant in their garden. Okay? So that might make a nice Mother's Day present or an Easter card for Granny or Grandpa. There we go. So seed paper. Have a go. Let me know how you get on. I'm going to let this one dry and then I'm going to plant it in my garden in a couple of weeks. Hopefully we'll get some lovely poppies. So good luck with that. Enjoy. Let me know how you get on.